Imagine a lively kitchen in a bustling restaurant. You can hear pots clanking, knives chopping, and the hiss of steam rising from simmering pans. In the middle of all this, a chef is about to try a brand new recipe. It starts off straightforward. Crack 2 eggs into a bowl, add 1 cup of flour, and pour in 100 milliliters of milk. Whisk thoroughly until smooth. So far, so good. The chef understands exactly what to do. No confusion about quantities or methods. And each ingredient is named clearly in a way that makes perfect sense. Now, suppose the very next line in the recipe reads something like, add 2 tablespoons of something and stir for 8. The chef's eyes narrow in confusion, thinking, wait, what is something supposed to be? And 8 what? 8 seconds, 8 times, 8 minutes? The recipe has slipped into a type of instruction the chef can't interpret precisely. This is exactly what happens in programming when a syntax error occurs. The lines that previously made perfect sense have led you to a spot where your recipe is no longer following the rules. The chef, or in programming terms, the compiler or interpreter, is stuck and can't proceed. The chef's perspective is key. A well-written recipe tells the cook which ingredients to use and what actions to take, laid out in an organized, grammatically correct manner. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, heat for 5 minutes, whisk vigorously, and so on. Every instruction is clear, fitting within a language's normal structure for describing a cooking process. But if a line violates that structure, like instructing, add something and stir for 8, the chef might stare at the page and think, I can't figure out what ingredient something is, and 8 could mean absolutely anything. The confusion halts the entire cooking process cold. In the world of programming, a syntax error emerges whenever the code strays from the language's defined grammar. Maybe you typed a statement that's missing a needed punctuation mark, or used a keyword incorrectly. It's similar to writing add something 2 tablespoons in a recipe. It doesn't follow the recognized rules or vocabulary of cooking instructions. If the computer's compiler or interpreter is a chef, it can't make sense of that line. It refuses to proceed and might display an error message such as syntax error, unexpected token. The unexpected token could be something, or a random symbol, or a malformed piece of text that disrupts the language's grammatical structure. Continuing this cooking analogy, someone might ask, why not just guess what something might be and keep going? In real cooking, you might hazard a guess. Maybe they meant tomato paste, and push forward, but your final dish becomes unpredictable. In programming, though, computers aren't good at guesswork. They require precise instructions for every step. If one line is garbled, all subsequent lines become ambiguous. The system sees an error and halts, deciding it cannot interpret anything further. Essentially thinking, I don't recognize this command, so I don't know how to proceed. It helps to compare a syntax error to other types of mistakes. Sometimes a recipe could say, add 10 cups of sugar, which is syntactically correct. Nothing is spelled wrong. The sentence is structured normally, but might yield an inedible final product. That would be a logical or design error, not a syntax error. By contrast, a syntax error is like saying, add 10 cups of blah blah blah, something that breaks the fundamental rules of how instructions are written. The chef, compiler, can't even guess what blah 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 is supposed to mean, so it just stops there. Many first-time programmers feel frustrated that a single missing character can make the entire program fail. It's like instructing the chef, add 2 eggs and flour, 1 c-up, then something milk. That tiny spacing or punctuation error renders the sentence unreadable. But in reality, this immediate detection is helpful, showing you exactly which line has strayed off track. You might fix it by properly writing cup or placing punctuation correctly, then the code or recipe works fine. Subscribe channel and click like. That makes you smart.